Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also a publisher of Reading the Pictures.
There are certain pictures that seem to find their way into most of the media's photo of the week slideshows. This is one of them, and we want to talk about why.
This photograph was taken by Drew Angerer for Getty Images. In the picture, we see Xiao Qi Ji, a 9-month-old male giant panda cub, climbing in a tree at the Smithsonian's National Zoo in Washington, D.C. on May 20th. The cub first began to walk on Thanksgiving, just days after the zoo closed to the public due to COVID-19. The zoo has just reopened.
I really just want to caption this picture. I'm right there with you, buddy. It's really hard for me not to see the appeal of this image as a kind of post-pandemic photograph, or maybe a prelude to a post-pandemic world. This feeling that we're all just kind of hanging on as long as we can. We're a little bit in limbo, but we're doing our best literally to hang in there.
It does pick up these different social and political themes. Besides pandemic recovery, it's also such a naturalistic scene. And as the concern of the country starts to move more toward climate and climate change, certainly this has an environmental nature to it. And then also the tension with China is also an overriding concern right now, certainly was with the virus and with the Trump administration. And, the panda as a expression of a political relationship is also something that makes this photograph more than just cute.
Thinking about the panda as a kind of social media icon for our times is really interesting. I think those political resonances you mentioned, this idea that the pandas and the entire zoo itself has been on pandemic lockdown with the rest of us, but is now opening up. And, I also think back over the winter to those videos circulated on social media of, the pandas sliding in the snow and seemingly enjoying themselves immensely. So there is this kind of iconic panda as household pet narrative that plays out here, but it's also tied to these larger and pretty dramatic social changes we've been under. I mean, it seems pretty silly to suggest that, cute floppy panda hanging out in a tree could have all of these resonances. But I think those are many of the ways that media are picking up on images like this one in particular.
I also wanted to talk about something that we don't address that often, but is really in play in most of the images we look at, which is the media edit of whoever is in charge of picking out the one of what is always multiple versions of a particular scene. I looked at a lot of different versions of this photograph that had been published. A lot of them are very cute, and you get more animation from the panda, but there's something about this particular version where the panda, the way it's hanging, kind of borders on this lifelessness, as if there's something off, something wrong. And that the way that people love horror movies, there's something about this particular version that's both sweet and a little bit unsettling that makes it the picture, I believe.